I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should I step out of your way so you can see the flag?
Oh my God, you're awful.
I never did.
Just highlight like the 3 minutes and maybe your name and no personnel. Okay. Going to have a little information about the public input session from our vice chair.
Temporary,
Okay, temporary.
ad hoc. So public input is the only time provided in the agenda where members of the public may speak before the board, subject to the limitations herein. The chairperson may authorize anybody to speak. If we're looking for folks that are with the Berwick, North Berwick, Lebanon area, if you live out of town, you may be able to speak with chairperson's permission. It's a 15-minute initial public input session. There's a second public input held at the end of the meeting with no time limit. Recognized person has 3 minutes in which to speak. Chairperson will decide the statement is appropriate. One big thing that we try to talk about is we can't discuss anything regarding school personnel. That's what I got.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, with that.
Do we have any public input tonight from anyone?
It's all on Susie.
I was happy to help you.
Mike, you live out of town.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. None? We good? All right, then we will go to the minutes of September 20th.
There was I caught today a Mr. Beal at one point.
I do that.
And
I missed Price.
and I caught, yes.
That was not a mistake.
I missed the Mr. Beal.
Jen and I went through that, and I think we have cleaned up the couple of missing periods and the Mr. and the Ms.
Maybe we could just go with last names and stop the confusion.
Price said,
Yeah, this is kind of fun. It's a game for me. to Get myself
I
straight.
think you kind of have to have the names for the motion and the second, that kind of stuff, so. Anybody see anything else? Nothing else? Okay, so we need a motion to,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
okay. Second? Second there. Any further discussion from anybody? Okay, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Opposed? None?
700. And could I take a second to introduce our...
Yes.
So, we have our student school board member with us starting tonight. That's William Mallett. Your name seems kind of familiar, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Are there any other Mallets in the room?
Yeah, you might know my mother.
We are going to be asking for stories later on, but for tonight, welcome to the school board.
Thank you.
William and I had an opportunity to meet today and chat about options and stuff, and I told him about some things I'd be pitching his way during the year, such as we went to Joanne and some other folks went to a forum a couple of years ago, and there were students from Kennebunk High School and another one that we went to. There were a couple. Bonnie Eagle. And so I told him when I see those opportunities, I'll pitch it his way. Not to say, here, you must do this, but they're optional kinds of things, depending on his level of interest or his availability. So, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And your name tag is in print, it's just not here.
It's in the mail.
Pretty much.
Okay, so, can't wait to hear the student report.
You're up.
You're on.
So I am my grades representative for student council. Also have been running the school store with Placestead and Victoria Sam. And I'll start with what's going on in student council. We just wrapped up the Homecoming Spirit Week. That was a success. I'd say it was the best pep rally we've had, at least since I've been in the school. We had the teacher flash mob, I guess you could say, which was well enjoyed by everybody, which is nice. We try to include everything. We are trying to Miss Plaisted and I are looking particularly to spread school spirit right now in adding new events and opportunities for students. We have recently talked about adding a club fair in a way, just to let students know about what is going on, what kind of clubs they're interested in, because we do have a lack of representatives in student council, especially in the younger grades. It is Ryan Mentor and I who are running the 8th, 9th, and 10th grade representatives. So we're looking for more people to get into that, and we're always looking for input from the entire student body, which is in the end the goal to kind of bring out. But student council elections will be coming up in either October or November. Next meeting on Monday, we'll be discussing that. And we might change our policies of presidents versus representatives, which is mainly to avoid a popularity contest in the end, and to make sure that anybody who runs as a class president is really looking to be a part of the student council and helping the school. So that's what we'll be focusing on, student council now. I got a packet from Ms. Plaisted about Jostin's information for the sophomores. They have donated this year to the sophomores. I don't have the packet with me, but there will be a meeting the Tuesday after next at KT for the students to learn about what they're doing. So they're the company that makes the school or the class rings and the yearbook, and I believe they also make shirts and other apparel and stuff. So we'll be kind of informing everybody about that. The school store is running wonderfully. We have a bunch of shirts for every grade, and necklaces and sunglasses and different things. We've set up in the town hall, right where they sell tickets for the play. And we are looking to be open at least once a day at lunches and before school. This is very much a process, because although we have many shirts, we're also looking to get, variations, like maybe sweatshirts or just long sleeves, something up. But we had a lot of students buy shirts, and then the juniors and seniors got their class shirts for free from a fundraiser, and so far it's been going great, because we were open 4 days out of the 5 that we had school spirit days, and people were very interested in that. We sold different stuff for every day, and so far people have been interested. I've tried to use social media to kind of spread the opportunity and word of the school store, but I definitely think with some work that it's going to be a large part of the future of school spirit at Noble.
That's a lot of fireworks down
It
there. Good, wasn't
It was, yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Finale at halftime of the game was like, that's like Portland. And the bonfire was a huge success.
I did not go to that, but
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Didn't need any fire trucks. I mean, it was under control. And,
That's good.
Didn't set the grass on. Didn't set the grass on fire this year. It was really nicely done. Tomorrow night is Archwood for the football team at 4-1. I owe Mr. Smith a filet mignon, and I will pay. It's going to be a 6-ounce. His choice, whatever he wants. And then the boys soccer just won tonight, 2-1 over Massabesic. And they've got, if they beat South Portland tomorrow night, they got a shot at the playoffs. Right?
For the boys?
The boys, yeah. Well, I think they got Scarborough coming up and then Gorham
Right.
at the end of the year, so they really got to pull that all together. Sean Jackson, coach, is very optimistic about it. Feels that they can play with people if they just can maintain throughout one entire game.
I
And
know the
then-
feeling.
Then the girls, field hockey's had some tough times, injury-wise, so they've been depleted. Cross country's got a big meet tomorrow. Yeah, there's lots of good, the golf. Golf is 9-1, won the Southerns.
Wow.
So that's,
Is that co-ed this year?
I'm not aware that there's a female student on the team, but I could be.
I know sometimes
I could have missed
they
it.
can, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So if you don't offer it, you can, for both sexes, you can take that option. Going well. So girls soccer, they're doing fine. They'll make playoffs. Yeah. Good. So I think lots of things. Good school spirit stuff like the store and the bonfire and the fireworks. Yeah, we're moving.
It's a good time to be a knight.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I really wish I'd been there for a certain field hockey game that somebody announced for. I think that would have been.
They had me announce everything last week. There were sports I haven't heard of, and I'm trying to.
Where you do the call. And now he steps up to the team.
And he doesn't have a
I
second.
don't think.
He doesn't have a spotter for the football game, so he's trying to figure out who made the tackle, who had the ball, and
Oh,
How many yards they got?
find the names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, there usually is someone in the booth that would help pick out who did what, so I'm not wrong. They haven't had one all year long, so I'm 50-50. I'm doing the best I can. It is a paid position if anyone would like to volunteer. We do have one less home game.
When you said Gronkowski with the catch the other day, well, that was,
Kid was called.
I have to say that, just a comment on sportsmanship. My granddaughter came home from the junior high cross-country meet, and I said, how'd you do? And she said, well, they ran out of medals before I got there, but that was okay. And somebody's giving them very positive messages.
you said the middle school?
Yes.
So that's Elizabeth Lane, I believe, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was very impressed with that. It was a nice message to give to kids. You don't have to be the first one in.
Yeah, nice. And we've had enough medal opportunities with I know the boys, for instance, at the 8th grade level, swept 1 through 5 in the last, 2 meets ago. So,
Sending us some really fast kids.
Yeah,
yeah.
good. Okay, moving on. Do we have to vote to accept the student report or not? That's just, okay.
Okay.
First reading of,
So you see the policies that are under first reading. So it's the we have first readings, which is a notification to the public about which policies are being discussed. And then we'll have work sessions with the subcommittee. And then there's the policies come back for a second reading. They can either be tabled at that time for further work, or they can have decisions made on them at the second reading. So you see we have chemical hazards, student discipline, student use of cellular phones and other electronic devices, and then the rules for that as well. I have some papers for you. Eagle Eye Potter caught that in GBEB last year, staff conduct with students, that we had changed a subtitle in there to possible violations. And so I appreciate that. Here is the update on that. It can
It's just
replace
one
the,
page?
yes, it's one page. It's got a front and a back. It can replace the GBED when you get an opportunity. Then for the members, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So besides Joanne and Dustin, because you already have your pinks, so these other ones are the pinks for all the other members. 2, 3, 4, for all of the other board members this year. So the pink indicates policies that we would like to try to take care of in the school year. If we go through this set, besides any others that come up through legislation or change in laws or statute, then all of our policies will be 8 or 9 years old at the most. We still have some in this collection that are up to 15, 14 years old, I think. So we would be in really great shape to have everything under a decade. You may recall that we didn't get through many policies last year. There was this thing in the fall called, what was it, strategic plan? Yes, so we didn't have as much time to work on it. We got derailed a little bit, so if we can work away at this set, we will be in great shape.
Mr. Conley, if I can interrupt.
Please.
At our last meeting, we discussed, even though we're not sure if we're going to make any changes or not, at least a review of our nut allergy policies. That didn't make it to the first read list. I was wondering if we can include that in something that so the subcommittee can look them over.
Sure. Yep. So we'll add that to the first reading at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Is that it
Yes, that's it.
for the first readings?
Yes, just notification.
Okay. All right, moving on. We have evaluation system.
Okay, so this is just to let you know, we're in our third full year of our evaluation system that is required by chapters 508 and 180. Have those gone around?
Yep, I think so.
All right, super, thank you. Joanne, did you already? Okay, great. One of the things that we've been doing is we've turned Ralph Vos into a verb. We Ralph things. We've created our own, he has created a FileMaker Pro, maybe, evaluation system that we run online that people can access all of their information under their own name, and administrators. Mike can go in into any teacher that he works with and see what's going on with those people, where they're at. He can look back, for instance, over the 3-year cycle at all of the mini observations, face-to-faces. He can look at any other kinds of observations and notes that have gone on. He can look at their student learning objectives and so forth. We continue to have a district evaluation steering committee that's largely made up of teachers. There was a majority of teachers on that. I think right now they have 9 total members in that committee, and we're following those 2 chapters that I mentioned a minute ago. One of the things that they are working on is to make this system as user-friendly as possible, because even though we're in our 3rd year, since it's a 3-year cycle, that means a third of our staff, continuing contract staff, have not worked directly with it under a focus year yet. And we had a banner year for probationary year 1 teachers this year, 42. So if you count our probationary year 1s, 2s, and 3s, we've got over 80 people that are under the probationary system. So we know that they need as much opportunity to be as independently interactive instead of just constant FaceTime with people. So what I'd like to show you up here is one of the things that the District Evaluation Steering Committee is working on doing is creating very short snippet videos to, this one happens to be the intro to the performance evaluation and professional growth system. There's another one, for instance, on student learning objectives. So they're going to build their cache of videos over the course of the year. So I'd like to just show you this. It's only 3 minutes. And we'll pretend it.
And welcome to MSAD 16. This module will be your introduction to the Performance Evaluation and Professional Growth PEPG system. The purpose of this video is to familiarize you with the navigation of the PEPG tool. Navigate to the MSAD60.org bookmarks from the bookmark bar. Click on on district evaluation system. The FileMaker web direct screen displays. Click on the folder labeled Staff Eval 10. This will bring you to the login page. Type in your first name, last name, and nights 2018. This will bring you to a prompt to change your password. Do so. Then click OK. A page will appear that will ask you about your contract status. Select probationary. Next, select the focus year option, and then click continue. The welcome page will display. You will see MSAD 60 evaluation process timeline checklist. On the right-hand side of the welcome page is the resource menu. The list of resources are all included in the comprehensive PEPG handbook. You will also see navigation tabs at the top of your welcome page. This is where you will find home, mini observation, self-evaluation, 2+2, SLO, required documents, and your documents. If you experience any technical difficulties with this PEPG tool, click on Report an Issue at the top of the page. Be sure to click the Save button so that your problem has been reported. If you have general questions related to teacher rubrics, timelines, etc., and you have not found the information in the PEPG handbook and other resources, please contact your assigned evaluator or a member of our District Evaluation Steering Committee, DESC. There is a member of the DESC team in each of our schools. Again, welcome to MSAD 60, and we wish you all the best as you are now a member of a terrific school system.
Oh, by the way, this is a great sleep device right here. Yeah. Take my word for it, it goes for 10 hours. Okay, so just to display, our DESC is working hard. It's an ongoing committee. It will stay functioning every year and will continue to work. When we first started our system, we looked at Rhode Island Department of Education, RIDE, and we really liked some of their video work that they had done, so that's where the impetus for this came from. And we liked some of the resources that they had. We did not like most of the one-off tools that you could buy to have all your information stored. So we've been working with Ralph. You may recall that Ralph retired last year. He retired already, twice as a band member, as the band leader of the band, and so he does receive a stipend this year to continue specifically the work on this particular tool. And he'll be doing some training with another person in the tech department to help bring them up to speed as to how to work in that file.
Is that it for that? Any other questions or about that? Okay, now the next part I've been waiting for. How not to be a terrible school board member. Micromanaging the superintendent. Did everybody do their homework?
So, Dustin, this
Yes,
is...
I object.
You had a comment
This is
before
a
this.
thankless job as it is, and micromanaging you is the only joy I
So I figured as I went through the text, I said, here's one of the things people are always trying to figure out. Like, what's my role? They refer to it as stay on your side of the line. Another way I've heard it is stay in your lane kind of thing. I have to always be thinking about how do I stay in my lane? How do I not, because my physical presence is here a lot, how do I not run into working on some of Joe Finley's job? And if I go to the middle school, or if I go to another school, or if I'm working with, Susan works quite closely with Susan Macri, so how does she support and not do some of Susan's job in the special education? So I think about where my role fits in between of leading and encouraging leadership and building leadership, and what's my role to the board. And likewise with the board, where's your side of the line, or where's your lane? So a couple of the things that they mentioned in here that I wanted to point out, this is very quickly on page 19, it talked about visit to your neighborhood school. I remember Dustin, a few years back when you had first come on, I think you made the rounds of the place, and I encourage any of you at any time, should you wish to visit a school, nothing new, if you wish to visit a school, please feel free to contact that administrator and just let them know that you would, in order to do your job, you'd just like to come in and either take a self-guided tour or an administrator walk, just to kind of get the lay of the land and see what's going on. Talk to people, see what's, what do you feel is working, what do you need help with? That's great stuff. Those are great jobs. So please feel free to do that. I want to make sure people understand that. In the Plan B, it talked about when you want to manage an organization by paying extreme attention to small details, you become a micromanager. So that's where they get the definition to say kind of like where do I need to follow so I don't step into somebody else's? Where do you folks need to follow so you're not stepping into mine? Like, how do we help each other? How do I help the leadership team? And I thought that definition works really well